In this assignment, I want to look at two different accommodations, but they would be for three different classes. So I've been reflecting upon the lessons that we just finished up in my Art 1, Art 2, and then my 8th grade art class. And thinking about some of the struggles that my students have been having both with and without disabilities and IEPs. One of them was just understanding that all of the lines in 1 point and in 2 point can perspective go back, converge at those vanishing points. So I just made this little tiny contraption. It's very low to no tech. It's 2 pieces of cardboard that are just taped together to give us a little bit more depth, and just a piece of paper taped on. What's nice about this is students could make this as large as they want. They just have to get a larger piece of sturdy cardboard, which I have large cardboard sheets in the classroom, so that wouldn't be an issue. And what else I need for this is a pin, and this pin is going to be placed right in the center of their vanishing point. And they'll also need a string. And what this is going to do is it's going to allow them to pivot this string anywhere they would like around their paper. So that way they can see that vanishing point. They have a little bit less cumbersome. It's a little less cumbersome than a ruler, because sometimes they put a ruler over top and they get a little confused where that vanishing point is. So they can draw their box with a ruler if they would like. And then they can bring all 4 of those points back to their vanishing point using their string. So with this, I'm not so concerned with having perfectly straight lines as I am concerned with them understanding that those lines converge back to that vanishing point. Once they get the basic understanding of 1 point perspective, then we can remove the pin and the string, and they should have no problem then using the ruler. Once they have their lines going back, they can remove their pin then, and they can always put it back. They can remove that pin, they can line up with the edge of their paper to draw their straight lines then. They can erase any of the extra lines, and they would have a shape look like it's going back into space. Very similarly, for my Art 2 students, same concept with 2 point perspective, except for with 1, you need 2 pins and 2 pieces of string. As I was experimenting with a few different ideas, I think having 2 different colored strings is really important, just so students have an easier time indicating which string is which. So same idea, if they draw the corner or the side of their box, they can then bring those lines back to that vanishing point. And as of right now, if they're just learning, I'm not concerned with their lines being perfectly straight. I'm more concerned with them understanding where that line goes and why it goes back. And they can erase any of that extra background noise that they don't need, so those extra lines. And if they would like after, they're more than welcome to go back over with a ruler just to stir up those lines a little bit. So the last accommodation that I've been thinking about is for my 8th grade class. They are currently working on some grid drawings. And I've seen the kids will get a little discouraged or a little confused when they are looking at the whole picture. So if they have their image gridded out, a 1-to-1 grid with their paper, if they have almost a little viewfinder, it's very simple, and they can just cut it out of scrap paper. It covers up some of the extra they don't need to be focusing on. And then they can just move these very simply to all four quadrants of their drawing.